Hey guys, so I'm here today with my 23-week pregnancy update video. I'm about to turn 28 weeks tomorrow, so I'm about 5 weeks behind, but what do you know? That's just kind of how this whole thing's going for me. I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it and start talking to you guys about what went on during my 23rd week. This was the week when everything just finally started to calm down, thankfully. Oh my gosh, it's been such a trip. But this week is when things kind of finally started to calm down and everything was just kind of getting back into the rhythm and back in the swing of things, and things were going good. The main event, I would say, of this week was my appointment, which I touched on in my last video, with the perinatologist or the ultrasound specialist, whatever you want to call it. I didn't talk about this in that video because we hadn't done the gender reveal yet, but I just wanted to tell you guys, like, the coolest thing ever happened to me. 22 weeks and 21 weeks was like pretty much just hell for me. It was terrible, it was stressful, it was crazy. And so the night before my appointment with the specialist, I started to actually have a really good feeling about everything. I went to sleep and like literally the first dream that I remembered before waking up, I was at the doctor's office and I couldn't remember like seeing the doctor specifically or like, you know, a name. It was not like that specific. It was basically, I was just at the doctor's office. I was laying on the ultrasound table. They were doing an ultrasound, and the night before I was just praying. I was just like, dear Lord, please just let me be able to go to the doctor for once and have them tell me everything is okay. So the last dream I remember before waking up and going to my appointment was the doctor was like, you know, doing the ultrasound on my tummy and looking at the baby and was just like, everything looks good, everything's looking normal, you're doing great, everything's checking out, measuring. I remember in my dream the doctor was like, so do you want to know the gender? Because at that point we hadn't found out yet. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And in the dream, he was like, well, congrats, you're having a baby girl. And I was so excited, and more than anything, just to know that the baby was healthy and things were going okay. So I get to the appointment and literally, like almost the same verbiage as in my dream, he was just like, would you like to know the gender? Everything's going good. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is such like an answer to prayer. I just felt, I don't even know, I just felt like $1,000,000. I was feeling so good. Again, kind of recapping just a little bit, we also did get the blood results back for our chromosomal and Down syndrome testing, and everything came back negative. So as far as we know, the baby does not have Down syndrome or any other chromosomal defects that they check for, which is good news. Unfortunately, when I did go to the doctor, my fluid was still low, but he said it was like kind of as low as they would accept in the low normal range, so I'm okay with that as long as it's in the low to normal range. He said that it wasn't like overly concerning. If it got any lower than it was this week, it would be concerning, but you know, as of, you know, that appointment, things were fine. When they were doing the ultrasound and taking all of her measurements, they did say that she was measuring about a week small. He said that wasn't anything overly concerning. It was definitely something to keep an eye on. But he said 1 week being under on the growth is okay. He said at 4 weeks under growth for, you know, whatever time period they're doing the ultrasound for is concerning. They're kind of lenient with the measurements because obviously genetics and other stuff, and just some babies are just smaller. So she has been a very, very small little baby from the get-go, so I would not be surprised if she is a teeny tiny little thing when she's born. Like I said, they were able to tell the gender no problem, which was super exciting because I think we had gone to the doctor 3 different times before we actually found out the gender, and then the blood results and the blood work that we had done for the chromosomal defects and checking all that kind of stuff, they were able to tell the gender by that test as well. We found all of that out within about a couple days of each other, so that was good to go. When they were doing the ultrasound, they found all the vital organs, everything was looking good. The cord insertion, the umbilical cord insertion was looking good. He said it had the correct number of chambers. I'm still a newbie to all of this, so there are some things that they were talking about that I didn't 100% understand, but they weren't saying anything concerning, so I didn't really feel the need to ask a whole bunch of questions. Just everything they were telling me, the measurements, they were all consistently a week behind. It's not like she had, you know, her head measuring correctly and her abdomen measuring like a week behind. Everything was consistent as far as where she was measuring week-wise. So that was good too, because that would have been a little bit concerning if, you know, things were progressing quicker than others. But they were able to find the kidneys, the heart, the lungs, the, you know, bladder, like everything looked good. They were able to find all of the vital organs, and they did really extensive looking and checking at the heart. Brock's brother was born with a heart murmur and kind of like a hole in his heart, I believe, and it ended up closing up and everything was fine, but just because of that family history, they did want to do a little bit more extensive like research or looking at the heart to make sure that everything looked like it was good to go. They said all the chambers looked good, you know, the heartbeat looked good. Did that for like a good 15 minutes. So I feel like if there was something to be seen, they would have definitely seen it. I don't think this happened during the 23rd week, but this is when we did decide to change doctors. I know a lot of people after watching my previous vlogs were like, oh my gosh, you need to switch doctors, and I did mention in that vlog and a couple others that we were planning on switching doctors. We have done that. I had my first appointment with my new doctor on the 18th of February, so I will let you guys know how that went. Well, I'll just tell you it went good. So I'll get more into detail on that pregnancy update whenever that comes to be, whatever week number that came out to be. It did go very well, and I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with this doctor than the previous one. As far as symptoms or anything weird happening this week, this is going to be kind of like TMI, so if you guys aren't into it, then you can totally click off the video now. I don't blame you at all. But oh my gosh, holy boob leakage. I don't know, like this just started happening this week. I feel like whenever it doesn't happen when I'm just like sitting like this or anything, just kind of normal throughout the day, but when I'm laying down at night and kind of like my boobs squish together, or I'm like laying kind of more on one than another, it like starts to leak out, and I was just like, oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding me. So annoying. Like there was one time I woke up and like my arm and my shirt was just like completely drenched. I was like, okay. Like in the middle of the night, completely having to change my shirt. So I kind of got a little bit freaked out about that, and I called the doctor and they said it was normal for as far along as I am. So that was good to hear, because I was like, oh my gosh, this is something else that's just going awry with my pregnancy, but they had told me it's completely normal. I think it was like actually the night before my week changed over to be 23 weeks is when my boobs started leaking, so I was just like, oh my gosh, are you kidding? But whatever, it's just one of the joys of being pregnant. I haven't had any other super bad like things going on, I guess, as far as symptoms go. Just everything has been pretty much normal. My nausea has been kind of at bay as far as this time period goes. I was feeling pretty good. I did start feeling super heavy. Like I feel like, and you can look at pictures on Instagram, I feel like between week 22 and 23 my belly just really popped out. I did post an updated belly picture on my Instagram today because like I said, I'm just about to be 27 weeks, or not 27 weeks, I'm about to be 28 weeks. So I did post an updated bump picture on there, and like I said, you guys can follow me on Instagram to see those more frequently than you'll be able to see them on here. Yeah, as far as this week goes, like I said, everything went pretty well. I didn't have any crazy symptoms except for the boob leakage, which was like not fun, but you know, what are you gonna do? So other than that, everything went really good. So that is basically it for this pregnancy vlog. I feel like all my other ones have been a lot more intense and long than this one, which I can't say that I'm complaining. If you guys are enjoying these pregnancy updates, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I will be trying to stay on schedule. This week has been a little bit rough with the weather. I haven't really had good lighting to film, so that's why I didn't have a pregnancy vlog up this week on a Wednesday. So just please excuse that. I'm working with what I have. Hopefully things will stay on schedule, but if something happens and it doesn't, then just know that I'll have one up soon. So thanks for watching, you guys. I really appreciate again all of your love and support, especially from my last video. My gosh, you guys are just so thoughtful, so kind, so amazing. All of the comments just really were heartwarming, especially since that was one of the hardest times that we went through during this whole entire pregnancy, and I'm hoping that that will be as hard as it has to get. I just wanted to thank you guys for the love and support that you showed me on that video. All of the comments, just, oh my gosh, I was reading the comments and I was just crying, because it's just so amazing to have, you know, so many people out there who are just showing you such incredible love and support during a really hard time like that. So I just really wanted to thank you guys. That's all I have. So again, I'm just gonna shut up now. But thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.